Hello, this is Bloody Essentials, the podcast for all your horror needs. I'm Nina,
I'm Jamie.
I'm Ethan.
and we are your hosts. If you're new here, welcome. We review horror movies, talk to creators and artists within the horror community, and occasionally delve into true crime. New episodes are uploaded each week to your favorite streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you like what we do and you want to show your love and support, please like, follow, and subscribe. That way you can receive updates on what we are up to. Links to all of our social media platforms can be found in the description of each of our videos. And if there's a specific topic you want us to discuss, or if you want to give feedback on what you think about what we talk about, you can feel free to message us. We accept compliments and hate mail.
We're hoping no hate mail though.
But
we hope not, but we'll take it.
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah. So, we'll take it. We just want to hear from you. So
yes.
This week we're reviewing Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, and how much fun was this? It's like, okay, so I saw Five Nights at Freddy's, right? And this is kind of like the grown-up version of it, which was really fun.
Yeah, if you watched Five Nights at Freddy's and you were disappointed because it was more family-friendly horror, this is the movie for you.
Definitely.
All right. Are we ready to jump into some plot points?
Yeah.
Now, we know that it stars your guy,
My
Nicolas
boy.
Cage. Yes.
That guy.
Who did you know that does not have a name in here?
I did know
he's
that.
He's the janitor.
He's the janitor.
So, yeah, that's the name. The janitor.
Before we get into it, I just need a minute to talk about Nicolas Cage for a bit because, you know, he's my boy. Do you guys have a favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
I think I do. Okay, it's tough because there's like several I really like, but for me,
it doesn't have to be horror either.
Yeah, for me, it's Raising Arizona because I love that movie. So definitely my favorite of his, but like a lot of his other movies too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ethan?
I'm also a fan of him most of the time. I'll say that most of the time. I'm a fan of him. My favorite movie by him is 8mm. If you have not seen that movie, totally recommend you should see it. It's an awesome movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Might need to take a shower after that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. My favorite is Gone in 60 Seconds.
Nice.
Good
nice.
Movie.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the first movie I remember actually like recognizing him in and like knowing that's who that is. And I've seen it so many times. I love that movie and the cast is fantastic. It's got a great cast. So
you know what? And I will say, I don't really have guilty pleasures. So this isn't a guilty pleasure movie of mine at all. I don't feel bad about anything that I like to watch. But I actually, and I'm a fan of the original Wicker Man. I actually love his Wicker Man. It's entertaining as hell. Like, it is so entertaining. And I've never had a bad time watching it. So there. I love the remake.
I'm not saying something because you love the original too. Like you're a big fan.
I'm a huge fan of the original. So that is saying something, folks. But that is a fun movie. I don't care what anybody says. The movie is so fun.
It is fun.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into Willy's Wonderland.
All right. Well, we start out with a TV spot, which is kind of like the Chuck E. Cheese version that we would know. We see the TV spot going on like the commercial. Mm-hmm. And then we see two people running around cleaning in bloody shirts.
Can we talk about the birthday song for a second?
Please.
Yeah.
I love this song so much. I love all the songs in this show, but that one in particular is so much fun. Like every single time it's playing, I'm just like, it's your birthday.
And we're gonna, what is it? Have some fun, right?
We're
Something
gonna
like
have
that?
some fun. Yeah.
I like it too. Like, honestly, like, I think it ranks pretty high among like the birthday, like happy birthday kind of song variations. I really like the Beatles' Happy Birthday, you know, but this one is kind of like raising up in the ranks. I'm like, I might want this one for my birthday next time.
And it does kind of have an ominous tone to it. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really good.
Next thing we do, we see a car speeding down the street. We have a tire blowout with some spike strips, we find out that Nicolas Cage, the janitor, is actually the one who is driving the car.
Yeah, he
Gets
is.
out, he gets out of the car, goes to the trunk, and opens it and gets what I'm assuming is an energy drink.
It's an energy drink. It's like a
Yeah.
punch flavor.
Yeah, punch
Yep.
flavored energy drink.
Yeah.
And that's
No.
really fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if he
now-
was actually driving because I know he's very into cars and he did all of his driving for Gone in 60 Seconds. So it would not surprise me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And can we stop and say that the car in there was freaking awesome?
It's beautiful. Yeah.
It looked nice.
That is a beautiful car. So
It is.
Yeah. I don't know much about cars, but I do know when they look nice. And that one looked nice.
yeah,
That's about all I know too. It's okay.
that's quite all right. You're like, it looked nice. I like the
I
car.
like
Wonderful.
that. Yeah.
I like the car.
Excellent. So right after he has the blowout, conveniently the tow truck is driving down the street. So the tow truck picks him up, takes him. Of course, he's not speaking, but the tow truck driver will not shut up. I was like, dude,
Oh.
I am done with you. Shut your mouth.
I know.
We're getting some exposition about
Yes.
the town and some
Sure.
background from
Sure.
the tow truck driver, Jed, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, typical, stump jumping. Hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm done with you, dude. Just be quiet.
Yeah, for sure.
Next thing we know, we come to the main girl, Liv, and she's pouring gas all over Willy's Wonderland and trying to burn it down.
And we have no clue why yet.
Yeah.
Nope. At this point, we have absolutely no clue why she's doing that other than she's just a delinquent teen. So
Right.
Yeah.
cops are called and we think she's getting arrested. Sheriff comes, slaps some cuffs on her. Of course, I think, all right, they're taking her to jail. Nope. Turns out the sheriff is her mom and she's taking her home.
Yeah.
Yep,
Sheriff mom.
Right? Sheriff. And can we just stop for a minute? And if your mom's a sheriff, what makes you think you can burn this place down? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, mom takes her home. I thought, okay, mom's going to slap her, ground her, whatever. Nope. Handcuffs her to the radiator. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's very mommy dearest like. So,
Gives her a bucket, I think. A bucket, and
Yeah.
that's it, I think. A bucket.
she says, I'm
says that
hungry
there's-
if I have to piss. She's like, there's chips on the table and you can piss in the
And
bucket.
there's a bucket.
I was like,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, we're back at the tow shop with the janitor and the tow truck driver. He's checking to see what's wrong with the car, and Nicolas Cage is looking around and he sees all the missing posters.
hmm
hmm
Of course, he doesn't say anything. He just kind of raises his eyebrow and was like, okay.
Yeah.
So he tells him, this is wrong. This is wrong. It's gonna be about $1,000. We don't take no credit cards here.
Yeah.
Which is weird
Okay.
because usually it's the opposite. It's like we don't take cash. It's only
Cash.
card,
Yeah.
but
Right.
small town, their ATM
Right.
doesn't even work. They don't have internet at all. In
I
this
was
town,
just about to say
supposedly.
that the ATM
Yeah.
didn't work because there's no internet in the town, which
I think that's BS, but
That is such
yeah.
BS. There's no way there's no internet in that town anywhere.
no, because they had teenagers.
Yes.
I mean, there's teenagers in the town. There has to be internet. I mean,
Yeah.
serious. Oh, well, hell, there's adults there. There has to be internet. I mean,
Exactly.
okay, so he tells him, I think I know how you can do this. You can work it off. Well, I don't know. I would be a little concerned if some stump jumping hillbilly was like, I don't take you ain't got no cash, but you can work it off, big boy. No, that's time to hit him.
I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty common thing in a small town. You can work your way, pay it off that way. I feel like that would be a common thing to do.
It'd be
You
tough
think
because
so?
you're kind of in a bind because it's like, I mean, he can't drive away with the car the way that it is, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like
would hear the
well,
proposition at least. Yeah.
I think I'd I'd want like a good explanation of like, what are we talking here exactly?
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
since I don't have no money and I don't have no wheels, I guess we got to have a conversation about how we
Gotcha.
can make this happen.
Yeah.
So the tow truck driver calls somebody and he decides that, okay, he's going to go ahead and work it off. So they meet at Willy's Wonderland and Tex is there. And Tex is telling him that he's going to open the Willy's Wonderland again. And what he wants him to do is go in there and clean everything up, get everything ready so he can reopen it. And I don't know if you noticed this. He said, you can have your car back tomorrow. Not when you get out, if you get out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So he takes and he shows him where all the supplies is and gives him a shirt and tells him that he's an official employee now. So,
And he's also like, be sure to take lots of breaks, pace yourself. And I'm like,
yeah, I was just about to say that. He was like, take some breaks, pace yourself. Yeah, you can have whatever you want in the fridge. And I'm like,
I don't think there's anything good in the fridge to eat.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, it's been closed. Please have some moldy cheese. I mean,
Right. He brings his energy drinks with him and puts
puts them in the fridge.
I mean, honestly, that's all he really needs, obviously, is like the energy drinks that powers him throughout this whole movie. So he's good.
Still hasn't said a word, by the way.
No, not a word. Not a word. So
were you guys on the edge of your seat waiting for him to say a word? Like every time he took a breath or opened his mouth, were you just waiting for him to say something?
Honestly, like after we had that bit for bit, you know, once we got to the point where he was like at the car shop and the guy was explaining the deal, I was like, I don't think he's ever gonna talk. I don't think it's gonna happen.
yeah,
but I was like,
exactly what I thought.
I was like, maybe they'll throw in like one word, you know, like a one word thing
or something.
Yeah, or like something, you know. But I was like, I don't think there's going to be anything.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my son Josh was like, didn't take him a lot to learn this. Did they actually have to pay him for this? I was like, yes, they had to pay him for this.
I love it.
It's hard to act when you can't say anything. So it's kind of limiting him. And he does a really good job of, you know, we kind of, for the most part, we get the basic idea of what he's thinking throughout the movie.
Oh, sure.
Sometimes we don't because we're just like, they're telling you to leave, like, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And he just keeps cleaning, but yeah.
And I do love that we have these like really great shots to him sometimes, like, you know, of him like taking his glasses off, like or a look, you know, something like that. And you get like a nice like shot of his face. So he gives us some good face.
He does a lot of good face acting.
Okay, so now the friends show up at the trailer and they're trying to get her free from the radiator.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Amy.
I have to say, like, so her little friends, I have to say, the Miley Cyrus looking girl, I loved her outfit. Yeah, I loved her. She had like this cute little leopard print jacket and like long red socks and this little skirt, and I thought it was amazing. Just had to throw it out there. Leopard print or cheetah print is a wardrobe basic. Like you need it. It's just a basic, you know, like a navy blue or.
It is not, Jamie.
And why do I have so much of it in my closet? Okay.
Because you're stuck in the early 2000s.
I know. I just bought another one like not too long ago, folks. And I'm like, really? Do I really need another one?
All right. So the friends have shown up to the trailer to get her out of her handcuffs. She's like, look for the key. Everybody starts looking around. Why did the guy who likes her look in the refrigerator? Who the hell would keep the keys to the refrigerator or the keys to the handcuffs in the refrigerator?
Hey,
so then the girl.
Maybe it's the best hiding place ever because who's gonna look in the refrigerator for the keys, right?
Well, that's who the hell locks their get up to the radiator, but
True.
I mean, there's that. But the girl you like came over with her bobby pin and got her out. So
while the boys are trying to figure out what to do.
Exactly. All right, so they've decided that this wasn't a game. They were going to go burn down Willy's Wonderland. Next thing we see is Nicolas Cage inside cleaning. And he's
Yep.
cleaning the main room, and then he's cleaning the bathroom, and he's cleaning the kitchen. And that was driving me insane because, my OCD. Clean one freaking room, get it clean, go to the next room.
Okay.
Stop doing that. It was driving me insane. Sorry.
Thank you. I will say there was one point where he was like, okay, he had wiped off some of the things on the like posters or pictures and stuff like that. But then I saw there's one point where he started sweeping, but there was still so much crap on top of the tables.
Tables, yes.
I'm like, you need to clean the tables up first because stuff's gonna fall from the tables onto the ground. Then you sweep it all up.
Right.
That's making double work.
It was driving me insane. I know that has nothing to do with the freaking movie, but it was driving me insane. I was like, who the hell ever taught you to clean?
I've had to clean a lot of restaurants, so I think I was like, wait a minute. Whoa, what are you? Just do the tables first.
Right.
Then come back to sweeping. But, he cleaned that whole place, so, I mean,
he had a spick and span by the end of the night, so.
Considering he used, like, just basic cleaning supplies to get spray paint off, that takes skill, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as he's cleaning, the animatronics start moving in the background. So that was kind of, the start of the whole, these things are going to come to life type deal, so.
Do
you guys have a favorite animatronic?
I think I actually like the alligator because I thought it was scary, and because, we see it come up a couple times in the movie and it's kind of scary and it's got like a big, and I like what Nick does to it. So I think the alligator is my favorite.
I like that it climbs through the air ducts. That's really fun.
Yeah.
I know. What about you guys?
I think my favorite was probably the Mexican turtle with a sombrero.
Que lástima.
Yeah, he was awesome. I did like him. Yeah.
He was a lot of fun.
What about you?
I know it's dumb, but I really, really love the ostrich.
Aww, the ostrich is fun.
Well, I like ostriches in general. I think they're funny looking. And the fact that they had an ostrich animatronic is even more adorable because it's not an animal that kids normally are like, and I like the kill.
Yeah, the kill was good.
Totally. Good. And I just think overall the animatronic characters look really cool in this. Like, I love when you see them like standing there on the stage, and I love when you have just a little bit of movement, where like the eyes or you can kind of see them starting to move. I thought it looked really creepy and cool.
It did. Yeah. I like how they just slowly start to move and he just like turns his head and they stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go back to doing it again once he turns away or whatever.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, so he's in the main part of the main hall, the main dining hall, and he's cleaning, and then the ostrich comes alive.
And he says, "I'm gonna feast on your face."
Feast on your face. I've got that down here. That was awesome. I loved it. I'm gonna feast on your face.
Love it.
So they start, of course, tussling. They start fighting, and the janitor beats the crap out of him with a mop handle and ends up killing them. So
what's great is like he's kind of holding back his punches a little bit, and then the ostrich like draws blood on his face or whatever, and then he gets really mad.
Yeah, he gets pissed.
And he rips out his spinal column.
I gotta say, I love like the pulling out like the spinal column, like pulling out like almost like pulling out the guts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so he's full of blood because, he just killed this ostrich, changes his shirt, flips over to the sheriff and the deputy talking at the station. He's flicks back to Willy being locked in where he can't take the garbage out. So he's like, okay, now I'm actually locked in here with these things.
Yeah. So I love how each time he kills an animatronic, he changes his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's very particular about his break times.
I was just about to say that. It's time for another break. It's time for another energy drink.
Yeah.
The alarm went off. It doesn't matter what's happening.
It doesn't matter. Anything could be happening. He takes his break. He takes a drink. He plays a game of pinball.
Yeah, I did
Right.
note that. I said, Nick Lecky, the pinball. I do too. So I was like, awesome. I'm a fan of pinball as well.
I believe he's actually is a big fan of pinball in real life. So
Okay.
Aw, I
makes
love
sense.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Why wouldn't he be?
course.
So after his energy drink and his pinball timeout, it's time to do some more cleaning. Now, he doesn't seem at all concerned that these things have come alive and that like this ostrich just tried to kill him. He's like, well, screw it. I guess I'll just start cleaning again.
He needs his car. Okay.
Yeah. He's got work to do.
I see.
And if he finishes, cleaning by the end of the night, then he gets it back for free. He doesn't have to pay anything. So
Right. True.
I'm all for free stuff in life.
Free's good.
So he starts cleaning the bathroom, which, by the way, was incredibly filthy.
I would have started with the bathroom.
Yeah,
like
incredibly filthy.
Two things I have to have clean are the bathroom and the kitchen. Those are like the top. And I know how bad that bathroom is going to be. I would have started with the bathroom.
Yes.
I know. Get it over with, quick like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I love me some toilet terror. I love bathroom scenes in horror movies because it's such a vulnerable place, right? So you know that if you see a bathroom in a horror movie, things are going to go down.
Absolutely.
And it's not normal bathroom things. It is going to be horror movie things that happen, just to be clear. That's what I'm excited about.
So he cleans the bathroom and he gets it spotless. I mean, it looks wonderful. So he hears the animatronics singing, goes over and turns them off because, it doesn't matter if they're off. They were just moving and an ostrich just tried to kill you. You think hitting an off button's going to... Okay, whatever. But he turns them off.
You don't know.
But he turns them off and then he goes back into the bathroom and he sees the message in what I'm assuming was supposed to be blood.
Yeah.
On the mirror. Then he hears the talking and he's like, I'm in here. I'm going to get you. So he starts looking in all the stalls. So he gets to the last stall and you're like, okay, it's got to be in here, right? He opens it up and nothing's in there. And I was like, what? Something has to... Then the gorilla drops down. The gorilla, he's freaking awesome. I do like the gorilla.
This gorilla is a badass. He's proof that this is not going to be easy. Like the ostrich, all right, maybe it's, but this thing can punch back.
Oh, yeah.
So they start fighting. He throws them around. I particularly enjoyed when the janitor stuck him in the face with the plunger and was just like,
you would
swinging around with the plunger. And I was like, yes, I love it. That was great.
Those don't come around too often. Right. It is, so when it happens, you're like, yes, plunge to the face.
Being a plumber, I was like, I love that. I love that. That's awesome. So they're fighting, blah, 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 all that good stuff. They're throwing him around the bathroom. He finally throws him and hits him into the urinal. And then he does the face stomp with his teeth on there and like snaps his head, which I was like, oh my God, this is American History X, except this is a gorilla.
It was a great kill. Great kill.
It was.
Really good kill.
It was. Okay, now it's time for another energy drink and another pinball. His watch has gone off and it's time for a break. It doesn't matter what's happening.
Nope.
So the kids show up at Willy's and they started soaking the gas or the building with gas and they decided that they were going to light it on fire. Liv, the main girl, is like, no, we can't do this. We have to get the guy out of here first.
Yeah.
So they knock on the window. They try to get him out. He just kind of looks at him, goes about his business.
Doing.
I love it so much. It's like, what must be going through his mind? He's like, what? I got to clean. Like, I need my car.
So Liv was like, no, we have to get him out of here. The other kids were like,
why
if he wants to be creative, let's just do this. So she, of course, was like, no, we're not doing that. We're gonna go in and save him, or I'm gonna go in and save him. Y'all can go do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
So
basically says wait here so we can get out once I got him, basically.
Right. So Liv decides she's going in. She goes in through the air duct. She's crawling through there, which absolutely drove me insane because small spots and claustrophobic, and I don't like that. But whatever, she was skinny, so she could deal with it.
So many movies. Okay, so like air vents, man. Is it really a viable way to get into a building? Because I've seen
No.
this in so many movies, and I'm like, I don't feel like it works that way.
It's not that easy to get in, period.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
No.
Just
And
wanted
they're
to
not-
clarify since I've
I
seen
don't
it
feel
so
like
many times.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're that big in order to
No.
hold a human, much less
No.
hold the weight of a human. I know she's
Exactly.
skinny, but she's not that light.
She's not air. It's designed
No.
for air.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
right. Well, good to know. I'm gonna keep that up here.
Right?
That is not a good way to try to enter a
No.
building.
No.
Do not
So if we ever
travel
have
by
to
air
break it-
ducts.
If we ever have to break in a building, my fat ass is not getting in there. So, all right. So as she's going through, we see one of the animatronics, the alligator, come around, and he's kind of like stalking her. Well, she falls through and falls into the building, and she kind of falls into the like enchanted forest type deal.
I love this part so much.
Yeah.
I love the enchanted forest. It's so pretty. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to set up like a little yard area like this with the lights, and
Right.
it's pretty.
Yeah,
Right.
and she's singing the Ring Around the Rosie song, which is creepy in itself because
Yeah.
if you know the origins, obviously, but like
Yeah.
just the sing-songy little childlike voice almost, and
Right.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
So that's when we see the I call her the evil Tinkerbell. Yeah.
Her
The evil
name is
Tinkerbell.
Siren Sarah, but yes, evil Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
She looks just like her.
And see,
Yeah,
I wrote Sprite Fight, so I called her a Sprite.
Sprite fight. That's great.
I love it.
Yeah. So the other 5 kids decide that they need to go in and save her, so they go up to the roof. Which-
Stupid.
It's a very stupid idea. But
Yeah.
they're all up there and they're arguing, and boom, all of a sudden they fall through the roof and they fall conveniently into the ball pit. So
Once again, the ball pit saves the day.
exactly.
But it's like only a section of the roof caved in.
Right.
How convenient. I feel like the whole roof would have given in.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this building's just been sitting there
Decaying.
decaying. Yeah.
So we flip back into the janitor stops Liv from killing the fairy, and the kids realize that he's already killed 2 of the animatronics because they're like, wait a minute. Isn't there supposed to be 8 of them up here?
That moment was so great because they're just like they look over, they see the trash bags, and then they look back at him, this ordinary looking guy, and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that part was pretty cool.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the moment where Liv is just like talking to the janitor, and she's like, this guy lied to you. He has no intention of,
Right.
you getting out of here alive, and you're basically a human sacrifice for these
Yeah.
animatronics. So
So Liv and the kids start to tell the story about what happened, that it was owned by a serial killer, and he
Yep.
hired serial killers. The cops found out. They came in to take him over, and they killed themselves in a satanic ritual, and then took their souls and put them into the animatronics.
Yep.
So that's kind of
Man,
where we're at now.
that takes a lot of that's a decision to make, man, because it's like, all right, I guess we're doing this. We're gonna spend the rest of eternity as animatronic animals. You guys in? Okay.
Ugh.
I mean, not to call anybody out, but it might be a better idea to be an animatronic versus, I don't know, a 3-foot doll.
I knew you were going to say that.
I love Chucky.
Look, get off of Chucky.
I love Chucky so much, but you can't drive a car,
Yeah.
We get it, Nina. You like animatronics. You no longer play with dolls. Fine. Okay. Now we're back to where we have Tex, the new owner. This is, I believe, 1995. They said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still it's been a while, I think. Yeah, so probably early 2000s by this point, I think. So
Okay.
yeah.
So of course he made a deal with the devil. That here, you need to stop killing our townspeople. We're going to bring them to you. Then you can go ahead and kill them and leave us alone. So
Yeah.
that was the deal that's been made. So
Yeah.
And I
Tex
also-
tried to reopen the building. He tried to reopen Willy's Wonderland again,
Right.
but it didn't work out. So that was the
Right.
deal they made. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I love like the carnage montages that we get too. Like when they're telling the story, we get some carnage montages, some little ones where
Right.
it's like showing what the serial killers did and like, you know, them
Right.
getting out and killing like people in town. I really liked that part too, because yeah, they like escaped at one point, were killing townspeople. So I liked that.
it's a lot of information to give in a flashback, and they do a really good job.
They
So.
did.
That
Yeah.
they did.
I was like,
Yeah.
I follow. I got it all. Okay, I'm caught up. I'm ready. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we're back inside, and the kids decide that they're going to go explore, especially Bob and Kathy. They're going to go explore the fun room.
Explore.
I think
And-
it's funny that they find out that these serial killers kill themselves in the super happy fun room, and they're like, let's go to the super happy fun room
Do it.
and do it.
Right? I have down here that they went to explore and then started to explore each other.
They did.
Because I know when I was young and I had a group of friends and we went to burn a place down that had satanic people in it, that I ran off with my girlfriend and was like, you know what? People are trying to kill us. Let's screw.
As one
Totally.
does.
I mean-
Yeah, totally. It's
How
kind of
else
like
would
a
you spend your
rite of
Friday night?
passage,
Yeah.
Right?
you know?
Okay, so the kids go back to the main area there, and they realize that there's only two of them left on stage, which means they've all scattered throughout to go ahead and do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Of course, they start singing, and then they start to attack.
This song
Yes,
is so creepy.
The six little
Very
chickens,
creepy.
5 little chickens.
6 little
Yeah.
chickens, 5 little chickens.
This is
Yeah.
my favorite of all the awesome songs in this movie. The 6 little chickens. I jotted that one down as my favorite because it's the creepiest, and
that is creepy.
I love it. You
Yeah.
know,
And you just want to dance. Like, even though it's creepy, it's just
Yeah.
like
it's
5 little
catchy.
chickens. Yeah.
It's creepy, but it is catchy as hell, y'all.
Right? It's like, who are you rooting for at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the animatronics now have come to life. The singing started, and the knight stabs the one kid with the sword right through, which was really cool looking. I
It's
gotta say
really
that.
cool.
That
It's
was
this
cool.
giant sword
Nice.
too, so it
Yes.
does some damage.
It
Ooh,
really, and it goes all the way through. It was good.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
it was good. Now the kids are running and scurrying. What's the janitor doing?
Pinball.
He's
Take
playing.
a break.
He's taking his break. He's playing pinball and having his energy drink. I'm
He's
like,
got to pay himself.
I see. I'm like, okay. So now we flash from when that kid's killed back into the happy fun room where Bob and Kathy are getting it on.
They
It's the
sure
fun
are.
room of all. After
Yep.
all, the happy fun room.
Right?
Super happy fun room.
All the kids have run, they're screwing. The Chris, the one who likes Liv, he runs and he jumps behind this thing and he's gonna call the sheriff because
Stupid.
he's the responsible one, right? I mean,
He has way too much faith in the sheriff.
right?
Like this chick tied this girl you like. She tied her to the radiator.
Right.
Is this the person
Aw.
you want to call in an emergency? No.
So he calls the sheriff and she answers the phone and he's telling her what's up and she's like, yep, click. Deputy's
Yeah.
like, what was that? Wrong number. Calls right back. He's like, should I answer that? So she answers it and finds out that her daughter is actually
Yeah.
with them.
There. Yeah.
So she's like,
Yep.
all right, grab your guns, let's go. We got to go.
Yeah.
So they're going over to Willy's Wonderland to what I thought at the time was to kill the animatronics and get the kid, but we'll find out more about that later. No, Nick's break is over. He's had his energy drink. He's played his pinball.
It's ready.
And
He's ready.
yeah, he goes in and he starts kicking the crap out of the knight and throws him into the wall and starts bashing his head into the wall, which was, kind of cool. So
What he
Bob,
does.
Bob and Kathy still screwing.
Yeah.
Still in there screwing. So yeah, it is what it is.
I feel like Bob would have been done by this point.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
This happened. This was like an awful long time here, homie. I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying.
Nick Cage's break is at least 15 minutes, so
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they would have been done.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever. So she's like, didn't that thing move? He's like, let's give him a show. So they continued on and do what they did. All of a sudden, alligator snap, kills him. She jumps off of him and starts to run, tries to go to the door, but of course the door is locked. Janitor and Liv are walking down the hall. They hear the commotion. Nick kicks in the door and finds the kids are dead. So he kills the alligator, runs in there, starts killing the alligator. I thought it was great how, have you ever seen anybody really wrestle an alligator?
Not in real life, but in movies, yeah.
I have in real life. And when they're wrestling, they're supposed to hold their mouth shut so they don't get snapped. He's opening it and just snapping it. I was loving it. So breaks his mouth and then reaches in there and pulls out his
Guts.
animatronic guts, whatever you want to call it. So
one of my favorite kills, by the way, and that's part of why I love the alligator so much. Because the alligator is brutal. Like when he bites the guy, he comes in and bites. He has a big mouth, and then Nick pulling the jaws apart was so good.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not a real alligator, so this thing does not have the jaw power that a real alligator does. Exactly.
Right.
They have
So
huge.
it's a machine, so it's
right.
he can take him.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Clearly he could take him. All right. So the female animatronic, which I don't know what her name was, I don't remember.
Sarah.
Oh, was it Sarah?
Siren Sarah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So she's walks into the room and she's talking and she knows that Chris is hiding, but she doesn't know where he is. And she's talking about, I'm the good one and I don't want to do this and you can help me go ahead and teleport to the other side and blah, blah, blah. And this idiot's falling for it.
I
He's like,
know.
oh, you're a good Satanist? Oh, okay. Yeah, you worship the devil real well. Thanks. Okay. Well, let's see if we can't get you straight to hell. Okay. So he's falling for this crap. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, kid? I mean, how stupid are you?
Yeah.
I'm like, have you never seen, not even a horror movie, have you never seen a movie?
Right.
I know.
I mean,
come on, man.
So she's, trying that out. Flip back over to where the cop is going down the sheriff's going down the street with the deputy, and she starts to explain to the deputy what's happening, and that the machines left and they actually killed the townspeople, and they made this pact with them that they're gonna. And the deputy's like, "Come on, you're razzing me, right? The guys told you to screw with me tonight," and she's like, "No, this is really happening." So
I like what the sheriff says. She says rabid dogs don't sleep when they're hungry.
Right.
What a great line.
That's such a great line.
Yeah.
So she's explaining all that to him, and she explains that, well, you see in a flashback that Liv was actually not a biological daughter of the sheriff, somebody that she had set in there to eat, and get killed, their daughter was in the closet. So she took the daughter and kind of was like, I'm
Took
going to
her
raise
in.
you as my own. So, which, I
Which-
mean, I'm glad. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
but I feel like the animatronics would have gotten upset about that. Like this was supposed to be ours, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you are literally like giving us something and then you're taking it back. Like no takey backies. Like
Right.
not at all.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like that would have, in their eyes, broken the pact, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they were feeling generous that day, so
Right.
I guess they did have two, you know, they ate Liv's parents, so
Exactly.
they're full.
yeah.
So then we flip back into the Willy's Wonderland, and Chris is getting choked by Sarah's tongue and ends up
It's
getting
yeah,
killed.
it's a great scene.
Yeah.
I love that because, like, again, like a tongue, like choking somebody. That's really like it's fun and funny, but like also terrifying. But
Right.
it's fun. That's always a good time.
So, of course, guess where the janitor is? You got it. He's on a break. He's out playing pinball and having another energy drink, and he's just like, oh, screw it, kids. You can deal with this on your own until
Yeah.
my break's over. So
Well, what's funny is like Liv starts to fight this animatronic, and then his alarm
Yeah.
goes off. He's like, it's time for break, and he's
right,
like, he
Hands
just
her a
leaves
knife,
her.
I
he
think.
hands her the
Yeah,
knife, and he's
he
like,
hands her a
I gotta
knife.
go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
break time.
Yeah,
Gotta go play some pinball.
See ya in 15.
I love it so much.
So she fights him for the 15 while, he's having his energy drink and playing pinball. Break is over. Nick comes back, kills Sarah. And they're going to go outside here, and the sheriff is at the door. Sheriff's got a shotgun in janitor's face and was like, no, you're not going anywhere. Takes him back inside. I, of course, still at this point was like, she's bringing him back inside to see what he's done so she can kill the animatronics. No, I was wrong. So
she's dedicated to this whole plan that they had. Like she's like, we can't divert from the plan. I know I did when I took this girl home with me.
Right.
Which I'm like, do you guys, was there paperwork? Does anybody know where this child, like where she went? And why isn't anybody asking about her parents? They're just like, well, she had parents before, but the sheriff lady, yeah, she's mom.
Right. I mean, and when you just show up with an 8-year-old and she's clearly Hispanic and mom's white. I mean,
yeah, very white.
I mean, clearly
no questions asked by anyone.
They're just like, well, okay, you're the sheriff. So
yeah. There's a great line here that Liv says. It's one of my favorite lines in the movie. And it's he's not trapped in here with them. They are trapped in
here with him. Yeah.
So badass.
Yeah. So badass.
So the sheriff takes Willy in. I'm thinking she's gonna go ahead and, kill the animatronics. No, she sees all the kids are dead. The deputy's there. And she tells the deputy, cuff him. Pretty much we're gonna leave him here. You take Liv and take her and lock her up. So he's like, what? She's like, cuff him, you take her, you leave, I'm gonna stay here. This has to get done.
Yeah.
He has to be sacrificed. That's just all there is to it. So deputy says, okay, cuffs him, takes Liv, and the sheriff stays there to make sure that, Nick dies.
Yeah.
So he's in there handcuffed. She goes out to the truck. Do your thing. Yeah, it doesn't really turn out the way you want, does it, Sheriff?
No.
So the two female animatronics, the was that Sarah? The good girl?
Sarah and a chameleon.
And the fairy.
Yeah.
They try to kill Nick. Well, that obviously does not work. We flip from there to the deputy and Liv driving. Liv starts getting in the deputy's head and telling him, all about himself and saying, no, this ain't,
Like, you're a murderer if you do
Yeah,
this, you know?
you're a murderer, and you're just as bad as them, and blah 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 blah, and just let me go back and kill him. And he of course is like, no, I'm not going to do that. And all of a sudden, my favorite guy, the Mexican turtle, the animatronic Mexican turtle, comes in, pulls the deputy out and starts killing him. And then Liv gets out with the shotgun, and she was like, give me the keys. And she thought she was the shit, and she had that shotgun, and click, nothing. He just holds his hands out, and the bullets roll out, and she's like, oh shit. But I will say this, Liv was a bad little bitch because she beat the piss out of him with that gun. So
yeah, Liv's a fighter. Yeah,
she is.
She is. The turtle was adorable too. Like, I loved hearing a little bit of Spanish.
Yes.
You say turtle. I know tortuga is like tortoise, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that the same for turtle? Anybody know the Spanish word for turtle?
No idea.
I don't.
Okay. Well,
one of our Spanish listeners, please tell us. So
yes, please.
Yeah.
So after the animatronic fight, it goes back to the main hall where they're fighting, and the janitor is now killing the fairy, but he's still handcuffed. So he's on top of her face, and he's crushing her head with his thighs.
No problems there. It was really cool. I also have to say too, like, I love that he like kind of kicked the jukebox before the fight goes down, right? And then it's like this country ass like head, shoulders, knees, and toes that's playing for the whole thing. And he's tied up. So it was like amazing. Probably one of my favorite renditions of head, shoulders, knees, and toes that I've ever heard too.
Yeah.
So after he's done killing the fairy with his thighs, the sheriff is now sleeping in the truck because why not? I mean,
it's been a long night,
right? It's been a long night. He's gonna die. I'm just gonna take a nap. No problem.
Right.
So Nick's in there. He's cleaning up and stacking all the bodies by the door and getting everything ready and bagging up all the animatronics that he's killed. And now, you know what time it is, right? It's time for a break.
Break time.
It's break time. His watch went off. It's time to play some pinball and have another energy drink.
Jamie, we have to talk about this dance sequence.
I was just about to say, this one, when he actually won the pinball and he has this dance sequence, I was like, what the hell's going on here?
I love dances in horror movies, and this one is so good. He's got like a little hand thing, and he's like it's a whole dance sequence, and it's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite scene in the whole movie.
The song, the dance, it was fantastic. The dance was entirely improvised by Nicolas Cage.
Oh, of course it was, because of course it was
entirely improvised. That's why those dance moves look so familiar, Ethan.
Love it.
I may or may not have been dancing yesterday in the store with you, Nina. So
dancing.
He was breaking it down. He was He was like, hold on, please.
I love it.
I never claimed to have a bit of sense, so it is what it is. Okay, so now the janitor is taking out the garbage, and the sheriff wakes up, and he just kind of looks at her and waves like, "What's happening?"
I love that. Like, she just handcuffed you a few hours ago, and is like leaving you to die, and he's just like,
"Yeah, hey,
morning,
remember me?"
Right. So she's like, "This GDSOB," jumps out of the truck, and she decides that she's going to take him back in there and watch him die. She wants to make sure that he's going to die. The sacrifice has to happen. So she's standing there, and she's like, you may have been able to take care of these animatronics, but I bet you can't dodge this bullet. And as she does what is he, a ferret?
I think it's a weasel or something.
A weasel?
Right? A weasel.
The weasel comes up behind her and just like rips her in half, which was
Willy.
freaking awesome. Yeah.
I love,
Yep.
oh my God,
Yeah.
I love a good like decapitation or halving, like
Yes.
cutting somebody in half at like the waist area is like so good because then you have like the legs and like the little
Yeah.
bit of like the top left. Anyway, I love like when you cut somebody in half
I
at the
do
waist.
too.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So now the Weasel, Willy, and the janitor are fighting, and you know, it's a big brouhaha because it's the last thing. So
Last
he
song.
takes
Strong, yeah.
he throws him into the ball pit again. So all of a sudden, you see Nick's hand come up out of the ball pit, and he's pissed. He's like, I'm done now. It's time to go ahead and wrap this up and put a bow on it.
Yep. I had my energy drinks. I did my dance.
That's
Let's
it.
do this.
That's it.
Yeah.
So he goes to the fridge and he's taking his energy drinks and he's putting them in a bag and wrapping them up. And at first I was like, I know he's not just gonna leave and leave. He's like, I'm packing my shit and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
See ya. So he's
Leave
packing them in
me.
there, and then he starts making I'm assuming those were like mop spears.
Yeah.
Broke them
Yeah.
up in half.
He broke them up and then tied them together and
Mhm.
kind of shaved them down. So he made his homemade spears, and he ends up obviously killing Willy, and he's now killed all of the satanic puppet thingies or whatever they were. So
I love that he like holds his head out too. Like he holds his head at one point, Willie's head, and it looked really good too.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
So Tex is now outside with the driver of the car. So he brings it back and they're talking, and he's like, well, I got another car to add to my collection, because of course he doesn't know that this all transpired. So Tex goes to the window and he looks inside and he's like, son of a bitch, because everything's clean and
So pretty.
Spotless.
it's spotless. So they open the door and they go in there, and of course they don't see Nicolas Cage at first, but they're just looking around and they're like, how is this like this?
Mhm.
Nobody's ever been able to do this. So Nicolas Cage comes out. Now he's dressed in the original clothes that he had, not his Willy Wonderland clothes.
And Freebird
I
starts
was
to
just
play.
gonna say in Freebird.
And it's like, as soon as Freebird comes
Yep.
on in any movie, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
He
that
puts
was great.
Yeah. Puts his jacket on, Freebird's playing, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, right into the sunset.
Yeah, that's right in the sunset music.
It
I
is.
love that song so much. Oh
So
my God.
he turns around, he just walks up to him and he puts his hand out.
Yeah.
Like, give me my keys.
Give me my car. I'm
Yeah.
out of here.
So he gets his keys, he goes outside and he's getting ready to leave, and he sees Liv and just
Liv
kind of
just
looks at
gets in.
Liv. She just gets in the car. She's like, I'm going with you, homie. That's all there
Yeah.
is to it. So
Yeah.
he doesn't say anything. He just peels out. Now Tex and the other the driver are like, okay, well, it's over. We're good.
Yeah.
Phew.
They
Yeah,
talk about
thank God.
reopening. Yeah.
We're going to reopen. Let's make it
Do
with a
it again.
mechanical bull and blah, 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 the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So they get in the car, and all of a sudden they see in the rearview mirror the ferry, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, shit. So she had doused the car with gas and lights it on
Blows
fire, and
it
they
up.
blow up. And, of course, they're now dead. So you see Liv and the janitor just driving down the street. They're driving. All of a sudden, the Mexican turtle's there. Speeds up, hit him. He goes, to pieces. He's taking a drink of his energy drink. Looks at her. She looks at him. He just hands her the drink. She takes a drink of it, and end of movie.
Off into the sunset.
Yeah,
And
off
then
into the sunset.
birthday song starts to play in the credits.
Yeah.
Yes. I have to say too, with that car thing, like total like horror movie lesson number like 10, like a car is not safe. Like be prepared for something to be behind you. in that car.
Absolutely.
And I also
always check the back seat. That was taught in driver's ed.
always. But I really love like the note that it kind of ends on. Like I love when he just hands her the drink and she drinks the drink. It's like this like shared like, okay, we bad, like we warriors, and
Right.
hey, we're cool. We're like a thing now, kind of.
Absolutely.
Did you guys get the vibe that there's like a romantic thing, or are they just friends?
I think it's like almost like a guardian kid thing
Yeah,
because
kind of a
she's
Yeah.
missing that.
son type deal.
She's
Mhm.
way
Yeah.
too young, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's a teenager at least. She's got to be
Yeah.
under 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No, I took it as more of like a, hey, I'll take care of
Right.
you. I'll look after
Right.
you.
I'm your family now type
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we're gonna go do badass things together and not talk very much, but it's gonna be badass and awesome and better than what you were doing before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting locked to a radiator, not happening anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No more of that.
You can
Right.
talk all you want. I won't have anything to say, and I may not always listen to what you want me to do, but
Hey, but I got a fast car and I know how to drive it, and if we come up with any trouble, you know that we can handle it.
there will always be
Absolutely.
energy drinks and there will always be breaks.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Which is important.
And he keeps a clean apartment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Let's get into some fun facts now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, little disclaimer, despite the similarities, it's not a Five Nights at Freddy's adaptation at all. Not related.
Yeah.
When Liv explains Willy's Wonderland backstory to the janitor in the kitchen, she states that it opened in 1996. Okay. Later, when the janitor is fighting Willy throws the janitor into the birthday song button, and at the end of the song, it says "Serving family since 1984."
Mm.
Mhm.
So I don't know what happened there. Clearly, the person who wrote the song didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Two of the boys, the friends, Christian Del Grasso and Kai Cadlick, as well as Kaylee Cowan, who played Kathy, they all lived together for a month while they were filming this.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Bond a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good way to build some chemistry,
Yeah.
Siren Sarah, the pixie, she's the only animatronic to be voiced by her suit performer Jessica Graves Davis.
Oh, cool. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so the other animatronics are performed and voiced by different people. The knight and the alligator have no voice actors because they obviously didn't say anything. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage was intrigued by the idea of making a movie without any speaking lines. He produced the movie as well, as he was very protective of the script.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. According to the props department, the character of Kathy chewed over 81 pieces of pink chewing gum throughout the course of the filming.
Love it.
I thought that was adorable.
That's really cute.
Punch, the fictional energy drink Nicolas Cage's character drinks in the movie, has the text "A fistful of caffeine for your kisser" on the can.
I love that.
Yeah. And then despite you're going to love this. Despite the fact that Nicolas Cage's character name is never revealed, at around 3 minutes in, a military ID can be seen hanging from the interior rearview mirror of his car, suggesting a military past. This is the really cool part. It's a reference, the military tags, they're a reference to Cage's character, U.S. Army Ranger Cameron Poe from Con Air.
Oh, that's fun. Fun little Easter egg.
Right?
So we'll assume his family died. Now he's just choosing to be silent, and he's he got rid of the mullet and he's just living his life.
I love that.
That's what you didn't know. This is a sequel to Con Air.
Exactly. That's so fun.
But Con Air was an awesome movie.
Oh, I love that movie so
Awesome
much.
movie.
And that song just it gives me chills. I cry. I'm just like,
I know.
It's great. It's a great movie.
It is.
All right. Shall we rate this movie?
Go ahead and
Let's
start,
do
Nina.
it.
We know you love him, so
I love Nicolas Cage so much. Just because this guy, like, even though he comes from a very well-known film family. He made his own way. He changed his name because he was getting made fun of, and he just decided he wanted to do his own thing, not be associated with them. And he's very authentically Nicolas Cage. He's not afraid to overact, if you want to call it that. And his acting style is very distinct in everything he does. Like, he's just Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And I love this movie. It never gets old. It's so fun. And everybody I've shown it to loves it as well. And it's like, I remember the first time I saw it, and it's very near and dear to my heart. So this is a 10 for me. And I don't do 10s, but this is a 10.
Okay.
Aww.
Okay.
Awesome.
Jamie, go ahead.
Jamie?
My turn. Okay. I really liked this one. This was actually a first time watch for me. I haven't seen this one before. I love him. I do have to say, random side note, I sometimes watch this island house hunter show where people are like, I'm gonna buy an island, okay? And there was an episode I watched recently, and the island that they were looking at was owned by Nick Cage, and it was totally wild. There was no utilities. It was just his island that he was selling. Yeah, and I was like, what? This is his island that he's just like, he just bought an island out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like
He didn't
totally
build anything. He just had an island.
Yeah, no, there was no buildings on it or anything. It was totally raw island. So just have to say, I was like, of course he has an island that he's just holding on to and selling. Anyway, thought it was really cool. And I was like,
Because he has island money.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, he just owns an island out there. I hope he goes there and just like thinks and, does cool like things on it. Like when he wants to like be out in nature on his own private island. It was cool. All that being said.
I just have an image of him just sitting on a cliff, just thinking.
Me too, on just an island by himself. Like, yeah. So I hope that's what happens. That'd be an amazing thing to see. Okay. All that being said, I haven't seen this one before. I thought it was super fun. I would definitely watch it again. I thought like the way it was put together, the colors, the editing, it gets like really chaotic and cool at points. I really liked it. For me, I think it's gonna get like I'm gonna give it like a 7, which is really good for it's a really entertaining movie. Really liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, precursor. I do like Nicolas Cage. I think he's a decent actor. This is the second time I've seen this. I watched it about 3 or 4 months ago with my son and some of his friends, and we all had the same consensus after we watched it. This friggin' sucked. This was garbage.
God.
I told you. We were like, no, we are done. So I was like, okay, when I heard we had to do it again, I said, I'm going to go in with an open mind.
Uh-huh.
And I will try to watch it again. I was like, it was really late when we watched it, and there was a bunch of teenage boys, and they were cutting up and carrying on. So whatever, let's try to watch it again.
Yeah.
So it was better this time than it was the first time. I will say that. But if I never watch it again, I'm okay with that.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. By far. But if I never see it again, I won't lose any sleep over it. So, would I recommend it to anyone? Probably not. So, probably not. So, with that being said, I'm going to have to give it like a 4.
Wow. Okay.
4.5.
Right.
Okay.
Normally my rating scale is between 1 and 4. I'm not going to recommend it to anybody.
Sure.
5 or 6, I would say, okay, it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. And then 7 to 10, I would say, I like the movie. I recommend it. Go ahead. So
Okay.
it's on the higher scale of not watching it, but still don't bother. It's on the edge. It's on the cusp. Maybe if you would have talked a little bit,
No.
I'd have liked it more. But I didn't get what you guys got. Sorry.
Hey.
No. Everybody likes what they like.
Yeah.
So What's funny is I believe the director or somebody wanted him to talk, but Cage said no.
Oh.
So they were gonna have him say like one word or something, and he said no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So blame the man. I
Well-
love it. But yeah, I totally get it. My best friend actually watched it with me when we first saw it. We watched together, and she hates it. She can't stand it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is Willy's Wonderland. This is one of the first movies that we actually disagree on the rating.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
fun. I like
Absolutely.
it.
So
Yeah.
please, in the comments, guys, who do you agree with? Do you
Yeah.
like the movie? Do you not like the movie? Is it an okay movie? You
Let
let
us
us
know.
know, please.
Yeah.
And if you don't like Nicolas Cage, I want to know why.
Yeah. Explain yourself.
I want references. Do a paper. You send me an essay. I need to know.
PowerPoint, please.
I need a PowerPoint. Yeah, I need to
Bring
know.
your A game to that
Right?
debate.
You'll need it. All right. So I'm Nina,
I'm Jamie.
I'm Ethan.
and this is Bloody Essentials. We will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.